Wisdom does not come overnight. It cannot come accidentally. It cannot come by chance. It is a process. It comes after an inner realization. A realization that without wisdom, life cannot be lived in a profound manner. It comes after a realization that by being foolish, we can only have a superficial life. A foolish life, not a profound life. When one realizes that to have a profound life, a free life, a joyful and blissful life, wisdom is required. Wisdom is urgent. Only after this realization, wisdom enters one's life. And this realization will not come just like this. This realization will come after going through the consequences of foolishness. We live like a fool, and we think that being fool is cool. We remain clever and believe that by being like this, we can have a profound life. We many a time justify our cleverness, our foolishness. But when we go through the consequences of this foolishness, then we realize that being fool is not cool. Being childish is not cool. Being clever is not cool. Being immature is not cute. We realize that in order to have a profound life, a joyful life, a life full of perpetual happiness, wisdom is needed. A profound life cannot come out of foolishness, out of cleverness, out of being unreal, out of immaturity. When we suffer the consequences of immaturity, foolishness, cleverness, unrealness, then we start dropping our foolishness. We start dropping our stupid justifications of the wrongdoings. We start moving towards something deeper. We start finding something real, something genuine. and then wisdom enters our life. It cannot come by chance. Nobody has ever become mature overnight. Nobody has ever become wise by chance. One becomes wise after going through certain realization in life. And what is that realization? That realization is being fool is not cool. That realization is to experience the depth of life, we will have to enter the depth. To receive the light from the sun, we will have to come out from the darkness of our room. By remaining in dark room, we cannot receive the bright sunlight. By remaining fool, we cannot have what wise people have. By being childish and immature, we cannot have the depth which wise people have. When one realizes this, then one starts moving towards depth. And in that depth, wisdom is revealed. Then one becomes wise. And only when one becomes wise, one becomes stable. Only when one becomes wise, one becomes free. Only when one becomes wise, one becomes independent. Only when one becomes wise, one becomes truly happy. One truly lives. One truly enjoys this phenomena that is life. To live life, to truly live it, to truly taste it, to truly experience all its dimensions, wisdom is needed. To truly be free, wisdom is needed. To truly fly high in the sky of life, the wings of wisdom is needed. Without wisdom, one will always be entangled. One will always mess up everything. No matter where he goes and what he does, he will always mess up. He will have a chaotic life. He cannot have perpetual peace. He cannot be stable. Wisdom comes from depth. And when you reach the depth of life, then you become wise. And this journey from the surface to depth is not easy. You cannot simply go from surface to depth accidentally, by chance, immediately. One will have to pay the price. There is a price in this journey. One will have to realize that without being wise, one cannot have a profound life. One will have to realize that without having wisdom, one cannot have a life which is free, which is independent, which has some fragrance, which has some joy, a symphony, a melody. Without wisdom, one cannot take a decision which is relevant in the long term. Without wisdom, one cannot figure out anything truly in life. One will always have doubts and fears. One can never be certain about anything. Wisdom is the necessity to live a profound life. And this wisdom comes after paying a price. When we go through deep pain in life, then wisdom is revealed. When we experience the heat of life, then wisdom is revealed. When we go through the fire of the world, then wisdom is revealed. Wisdom cannot come by chance. Maturity cannot come by chance. It is not an immediate happening. It cannot be an accident. One will have to experience the extremes of life. One will have to go through the consequences of being foolish, being clever, being unreal. Then one moves towards the depth. One will have to experience the pain of ups and downs on the surface of life, the pain of uncertainty on the surface of life, the pain of being restless all the time on the surface of life, the pain of noise, the chaos. When one experiences all these pain that are there on the surface, then one starts moving towards the depth. If you are not yet tired on the surface, why will you move towards the depth? You will think that being on surface is cool, being on surface is enough. The depth is not required. But the way life is all will get tired today or tomorrow on the surface. The surface of life is unstable, uncertain, like the waves on the ocean. One will get tired being on the surface, and then one will move towards depth. Only after This realization that depth is needed to be stable. Depth is needed to have perpetual joy. Depth is needed to have a profound life. One will move towards depth. There is a price that wise people have paid. It doesn't come easy. Whoever is wise today and whoever will be wise tomorrow, they have paid a price and they will pay the price. You can accumulate a lot of philosophies of world in your mind. You can read thousands of books. But those knowledge do not make you wise. If all these informations that you gather in your mind made you wise, then all the computers would be wise computers. They have all the books of the world stored in them. But we do not call them as wise computers. Knowledge is useful when you have to deal with altered situations of life, when you have to do something in the world. But when you want depth in life, when you want profoundness in life, when you want beauty in life, when you want stability in life, then what you need is wisdom. And this wisdom is not mere knowledge. This wisdom is realization of truth of life. And when will you move towards the realization of truth of life? When you have suffered the consequences of being untruthful. When will you move towards reality? When you have suffered the consequences of being unreal. One has to experience the extremes. One has to experience the pain. One has to go through loneliness. One has to experience the heat of life. One has to experience the storm of the world. The heat, the storm, the pain, these things break our illusions that we carry in our mind, assuming them to be the truth. These pain, storm, heat, beatings lead us to the realization that being on surface is not enough. We need to make the journey from the surface to depth. And this journey cannot be accidental. This journey can only be conscious. This journey can come from your decision. It cannot happen by chance. You can talk like a wise person accidentally. Overnight, you can learn how to talk like a mature person. You can learn the terminologies, you can learn the oratory skills, you can learn the body language. Yet, you cannot become wise overnight. Wisdom can only come after one has realized that without wisdom, one cannot have depth in life. That without wisdom, one cannot taste life. That without wisdom, one can only think about life but not live it actually. You become wise only after you realize that being fool is not cool. Being fool is not enough. By remaining a fool, you cannot have a profound life. You become wise when you realize that in order to live this life truly, you have to become wise. And only they live this phenomena called life who has become wise.